Hello, sinners and saints. Today we're going to look at the case of Daniel and Michael Redlick. Let me share the screen. Here are your warnings. Warnings. You should read those. Warning. Warning. Killer's Vault. This is Michelle. This is Daniel. So this started out in a weird way. It started out as Michael being Danielle's stepfather because her mother had breast cancer and he was trying to help her. But somehow they got married and they had two kids, Sawyer and Jaden, I think. And this is her now. This is what she looks like versus that. This is some pictures of them. And before Michael was killed, allegedly he sent an email to his friend stating, my family is scheduled to move here in December during winter break unless Danielle kills me or divorces my ass. Neither is beyond possibility. In another instance, he apparently joked that he would be safe as long as the steak knives were hidden. This is some bloody footprints. More bloody footprints. And I wanted you to notice the bloody towels and the cleaning stuff. And this is a note that Danielle had written about another woman. Apparently, they were both cheating. This is the steak knife that she stabbed him with. She states she stabbed him once, and I guess the autopsy backs that up, but you can see the blood droplets. And this is areas, I guess, where he was hurt. The info and whoa, what happened? The unfortunate events unfolded following a heated altercation between the pair. According to investigators, Danielle Redlick waited 11 hours before dialing 911 after murdering her husband at home in Winter Park. She spent this time on a dating site called Meet Mindful. When she finally called 911, she said that her husband might have had a heart attack, as she stated in the arrest affidavit. However, the medical examiner clarified that there was no indication the victim had a heart attack. According to the court papers, Danielle Redlick claimed that Michael had tried to choke her following a fight. He apparently confronted her after finding out that she had exchanged flirtatious text messaging with another man, and I think his name was Caesar. Speaking to investigators, Danielle said that Michael had allegedly snatched the McDonald's quarter pounder. Sorry, damn McDonald's that she was eating. He took a bite of it and spit it in her face. She claimed she grabbed the kitchen knife to defend herself, but Michael snatched it from her to stab himself. Danielle Redlick then locked herself in the bathroom while her husband cried in agony. Okay, now let me tell you what I seen on the trial. Danielle stabbed Michael. He was 65. She was 48. Claimed husband was, she's killed him out of self-defense due to repeated DV. 18-year-old Jaden argued that mother was the problem in the relationship. She was toxic. She was manipulative. Um, the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, often fought, according to neighbors. They were married 17 years with 2 kids. Um, it's reported she scrolled through Tinder as Michael lay on the floor, dying, bleeding to death. Um, Whenever the forensics lady came in to look at the house, she said that the house smelled clean, like fabuloso or lavender or something. Um, a friend of hers testified that January 15th, she had a black eye. Said she was in the bedroom doing yoga, and Michael come in and grabbing on her, and she told him no, and he backhands her and then hits her in the face. He tries to get her pants off. She's struggling with him. She started crying, and um, this de-escalated things. January 11th, she was hidden in a loft area. Husband was home. There was glass on the floor. Text message from according accusing her of being with her boyfriend because he didn't know where she was. 1 to 2 arrived home. Daughter is with mom. Cleaning lady and husband are at home. Um, he said you better have a good excuse or lie to explain where you been. She left to go get the dog. Arrived home. Michael was not there. Daughter went to her friend's house. Son comes in at 8 o'clock for football game, or has a football game at 8. She showered and got some items together for the football game. While she was in the shower, Michael comes into the bathroom, pulls out his phone, and states that he's recording her and makes a lot of vulgar comments, threatening to beat her and hopes that her boyfriend beats her face in. Starts following her around the house, threatening her to take the house and the kids and leave her with nothing. She was trying to get her kid or her son some food and packing his stuff for the football game. So she ducked into the son's closet and stayed there for about 10 minutes. Michael was following her around the house, threatening, degrading, and cussing her. Michael finds her in the closet, takes her phone at 7 o'clock. Um, is when the game is. He's yelling at the son to get ready and walks up the door with her phone. She follows, runs back into the house and gets some eggs, throws them at his car. Um, she says he starts to walk toward her. She never really finished what happened after that. Son and husband leave to go to the football game. Danielle went to the game because Michael texted her and told her that she could come. So I'm assuming she got her phone back. After the game, Danielle went home and she's sitting in the breakfast nook area. Michael came into the kitchen and got out a bottle of vodka. Michael asked, are you not afraid to be in the house alone with me without the kids? Um, Michael said, that's my husband snoring. Michael said, as a matter of fact, um, Danielle said, as a matter of fact, yes. Danielle tells him that he needs to go back to the old arrangements where they're living separately. Um, he looks crazy at her, and she says, "You look crazy and disturbing. Um, do you want to go get something to eat?" She leaves house because apparently they didn't want to go together. He leaves the house as well. On the way home, after stopping at McDonald's, she stopped at CVS to get a bottle of wine. She came home. Michael wasn't there. Then he arrives immediately and walks up to the table and takes her phone and walks away and comes back towards her and grabs her sandwich and walks. She describes to the left of her, talking about Caesar. Said, "Are you going to go spend the weekend with him?" And she said, "Maybe I will." And so he spit the food at her. and she starts to walk into the kitchen, and Michael comes up behind her and grabs her, and he's turned her to the left, and they fall to like the ground, she describes, but she says her knees, and she felt something hit the back of her head. I'm assuming that was, if you follow two people, sometimes it's headbutting. She tried to get him off of her, um, but she fell down on her knees. He grabbed her hair and slammed her head onto the island. Let me give you a general. This was blood at the door, by the way. This island right here. He slammed her head onto the island here and had his hand on it, holding it down. And she was trying to reach, I'm assuming, to this drawer, because she said the one that's the farthest away. And there was knives and stuff in there. And she got a knife. And he said, "What are you going to do? Stab me?" And she positioned the knife towards him and he pushes her chin back, and she stabbed him. um, she said that the knife didn't phase him, and so, in every bit of this, it sounds very odd. This is the room that's going into the bathroom. That's the island. But said it didn't phase him, but it did. He did step back. He goes in one direction. She runs in the opposite direction. She thought he was still coming after, so she runs into the bathroom. The door didn't lock, so she went into the toilet closet and locked the door and hid. And he's yelling for her. And then she stopped hearing anything come out of the bathroom, and he's laying in the floor, about in here somewhere. And I've got a lot of pictures that I didn't add on here. It looks like he was dragged around that house, is what it looks like. I don't know what went on there, but there was drag marks from, it looked like, somewhere in the kitchen all the way into the bathroom. Um, she can't find the phone. She couldn't get him to respond. She says she leaned in to see if he was breathing. She never specified if he was. Um, she tried to call help, but she dialed 911 and 911, so it didn't go through. And so she didn't try again and grabbed towels. She deleted text, thinking about her kids. She was worried, I guess, that they would find the text. Wiped up some blood, mopped the kitchen, and then the next morning she called 911. Okay, just so you know, she was acquitted of murder. Um, she was found guilty of tampering with evidence, and so I'm gonna do a follow up on this case because she'd already spent a while in jail, so she probably got time served. I do think that he was abusive. I do believe that um, there was a lot of DV. I think that the kids are telling the truth, that she probably instigated it, because by some of the things that she said, a terrified woman of a DV, situation is not going to respond with smart ass comments. But that's my opinion. That's why I have one. Thank y'all for joining me. I hope you enjoy this, and I will see you later. Bye.